Hello everyone, welcome to another video on the channel. It's week number 12 and it's time for another GT Sport Daily Race C strategy guide. This week we are at Kyoto driving park Yamagiwa and we are in the N400 Toyota Supra for this one. So it's been a little while since we've had a road car for Daily Race C. In this case we have the Toyota Supra, got 10 laps to get around of the Japanese track. And we have fuel at times 2, which won't be much of an issue. Tyre wear pretty high at times 8. And we have the sports medium and the sports soft tyres. And a little scroll down to the tyre requirements lets us know that both of those tyres are mandatory. And that is a good thing, let me assure you. So let's do the flyover of the venue we're going to be visiting for this week. It is Kyoto Driving Park Yamagiwa. Picturesque circuit set in the Kyoto region of Japan. A Gran Turismo Sport original. It is also a fictional track. You have to abuse the curbs in this one to get the best lap time out of it, but it's very fast and flowing. In my opinion, a lot of fun to drive. More fun to drive in the race cars than the car that we have to drive this occasion, but I think there's still a lot of fun to be had in the N400 Toyota Supra. So yeah, let's address the elephant in the room. For this week's race we are in a road car. Now that instantly makes the race and combination and everything probably around about 200% less popular than normal. I've seen lots of people just instantly write this race off before they've even turned a lap, which I don't think is a great idea to do, to be honest with you. I think you should always at least venture out there, get a feel for it. A lot of these combinations can surprise you. I remember being particularly surprised by driving the S2000, the Honda S2000 around Suzuka, and finding it to be a really fun race. Now I'm not a big fan of road car races myself, but I have had a lot of fun driving this car around this circuit. We did a live stream this morning. We did 5 races. We did an Oceania account. I have to say 4 out of 5 races were absolutely fantastic. I had loads of fun in them. The last race of the stream was a little bit of a carnage, it has to be said. We got bumped off the track 3 times, but we still managed to recover in the second half of the race and get some racing and have some fun with this one. So yeah, I would, don't just write this race off, give it one go. If you don't like it, you don't like it, that's fair enough, but I don't think it's fair to write it off without having had a little bit of a go. As I said, I had a lot of fun this morning on it, and I'm going to have some more fun with it as the week progresses. Now the second elephant in the room to address is the time that this strategy guide is coming out at. I was very busy with work over the course of the weekend, and just not knowing what car it was, I didn't want to commit too much time to a strategy guide I might be throwing in the bin come Monday morning if it wasn't the right car. Now we did predict it would be the Toyota Supra in the community post, so we did get that one right. So we did have a few things ready to go, but after the live stream I thought, yeah, let's get this strategy guide put together, and so it's just there as a helping hand for anyone maybe arriving to the race a little bit late. So that's that sorted. Let's move on to the strategy. Let's see how the soft tyres perform compared to the mediums, and we'll check out the pit loss and all that good stuff that helps you to formulate the strategy for the race. So first up we've got the sports soft tyre life. Now tyre wear is at times 8, which is quite high, but normally the sort of sports tyres or the comfort tyres or whatever tyres we're on wear out a lot less than the racing tyres. However, we are in a very slidey car and a very torquey car, and we are on the softest of the sports tyres as well, so they do sort of tend to burn through those tyres quite quickly. Now you can see we're coming into the pits here at the end of lap number 6. Now I was in 2 minds. I reckon I could have got another lap and it would have been absolutely fine, but we decided to bail into the pits here because I knew I was heading for a 1 minute 50.2, and I knew I could do that kind of lap time on the sports mediums as well. So we decided to come in at the end of lap number 6. The pit loss for this one, relatively short in the grand scheme of things now, after the adjustments to the pit stops, only 17.3 seconds, and fuel is of no issue whatsoever. So yeah, I reckon we could have done another lap. I reckon you can go to the 7th lap on the soft tyres, if you're pretty good on your tyres, that is. But on this occasion we have stopped at the end of lap number 6. We're on to the medium tyres, and let's see how they are performing in comparison. Now our first flying lap on the mediums was somewhat ruined by the AI car, so it was a 150.7. Second lap there, a 150.2, and I think we finish here with a 150.0. Now as I was coming in on lap 6, the sort of delta or the kind of the sectors were telling me I was on to do around about a 150.1 or a 150.2, so I reckon we kind of maybe got that pit stop just about spot on. I think it'd be pretty close. I think, you know, if we'd done lap number 7, it would have made a massive amount of difference. But there is a bit of a pit window there, starting on the soft tyres, maybe even as early as lap 5, or if you're good on tyres, going as far as lap number 7. So let's just put all the information up on the screen and talk about the 2 options we have for this one. So as always, pretty much now with Daily Race C, the strategy is fairly simple. It's a one stop, you're forced into it because of the tyre regulations, and the longer pit stops means 2 stops are a thing of the past in these kind of 20-minute races anyway. So it comes down to 2 different options. Option A is starting on the softs and finishing on the mediums. Now you could sort of go from lap 5 to lap 7 on the soft tyres, and then just do 3 or 5 laps onto the mediums. Now this strategy, I think you only want to be doing this if you're starting in maybe P1 to P5. The first 2 laps are very crucial if you're starting on the soft tyres. You need to exploit that 1 second a lap difference pace over those 2 laps to get the gap to the midfield gaggle. If you make some kind of mistake or something and you allow the midfield to come back to you somewhere around lap 2 or 3, then you are going to be in the back foot with this strategy. So to me, unless you're from starting on pole position to P5, that's the only time I'd be thinking about starting on the soft tyres, and even then I wouldn't be 100% committed to always starting on the soft tyres. Option B is going to be the one that you're going to see used far more than option A, and that's starting on the medium tyres and finishing on the soft tyres. Now obviously start on the medium tyres if you're any lower than P5 in my opinion. You can, I reckon, just do 1 lap on the medium tyres and then 9 laps on the soft tyres. You're going to be really pushing the soft tyres at the end of the race there, you are going to be struggling. But we did on the live stream do a couple of races where we started on the mediums, just did the 2 laps and then did 8 laps on the soft tyres, and we weren't in too bad a shape at the end of the race, to be honest with you. So do check out that live stream if you want to see option B being used quite well. The undercut is very strong in this one. We were managing to kind of undercut 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cars sometimes over the course of the live stream just through using option B strategy. We were starting at the back of the grid, of course, on that one, and we were up against drivers who probably weren't quite as fast as us at the time, so we were able to fully maximise that strategy in the end. But hopefully all the information there and what we've discussed beforehand has been useful to help you get in top of the strategy for this one. Now, as usual, we are going to finish with a little bit of a lap guide and heading towards turn number 1 here. I'm just going to give you my kind of tips and tricks for going around this lap. I'm by no means an expert, but really, if I could give you one bit of advice in this one to try and deal with this car going around the track, is drive it like you don't have ABS on. So going into turns number 1 and the very fast left-hander at the top of the hill, or actually as you're up over the crest of the hill, and even through this section here, is drive like you don't have ABS. Do not use maximum braking, but also when you're coming off the throttle, don't come all the way off the throttle because that will generate some lift off oversteer. So coming up through the S's there, I would be looking to just maybe feather the throttle, just keeps the back end of the car a little bit more stable, and it helps to just kind of keep the forward momentum as much as anything else. Is what you're really trying to do in this car, is keep the forward momentum at all times rather than the car starting to go sideways. And once it starts to go sideways, you can very often end up in a little bit of a pendulum. Now coming down the hill there into the chicane, get all your braking done in a straight line, then come off the brake very gently, or have minimal brake applied as you turn into the chicane. If you've got even just an iota of too much speed, then you are going to understeer, and then you're going to end up in that pendulum effect going through the chicane, which is going to give you a lot of trouble. Now coming into this sort of right left down here is very tricky. You just want to be coming off the throttle and letting the car roll, touch that curb there, little dab of the brake to get the back end moving, and then trying to clip the apex. Be very, very abusive of the curb as well. And then coming into the hairpins, again, I would try to get the vast majority of your braking done in a straight line. Trail braking in this car just generates the back end stepping out a lot, and then you try and go on the throttle, you can actually get a little bit of understeer. Quite an unusual car. I'm by no means an expert at driving it. My lap time here is a 49.1. I've seen somebody like Zavicic on his live stream doing 48.1s. He's probably been in the 47s before as well. But that's just, hopefully there's been some useful stuff there to try and give you a little bit of a help with this car around this track. So that wraps things up. Personally, I think this race is a little bit better than what a lot of people are giving it credit for. I do find it quite fun. I'm probably wouldn't risk any of my main accounts on it, to be perfectly honest with you. We'll probably stick to the Oceania and the US account, but yeah, go out there, give it a go, see what you think. There is some good racing to be had out there. Check out the live stream that we did this morning. You'll see we managed to get some good racing, have some good fun. You'll be able to see that I really did quite enjoy myself on the vast majority of the races. Anyone that was in that live stream who's now watching this, then thank you very much. That was actually a record live stream for the channel in terms of viewership and likes, so super appreciated. But yeah, I'm not going to babble on much longer. Hopefully the video's been useful, hopefully it's been helpful. Do hit that like button, do hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I shall see you on the next one. Goodbye now.